Do your Excels have great content but look terrible? Do you see other people's Excels and ask yourself, how did they do that? This series is for you. In this video, I'll teach you how to set up an Excel workbook so your Excels look less like this and more like this. Welcome to PSG's How to Set Up an Excel Workbook Like a Pro. Correctly setting up your Excel workbook is a critical first step in making your Excels look professional, even before you get to adding any of the content. But before we get started, a quick heads up. I'll be using keyboard shortcuts throughout the video and I'll show you them on screen here so you can follow along. Right, let's get started. First things first, let's change the column width of the first three columns to 2. Think of this as a margin for your sheet. It's also used for navigational purposes, but more on that later. We're going to use a lot of formatting to make your Excel look professional. Cell Styles in the Styles area in the Home ribbon is your friend here. This is a collection of preset styles which we will use throughout the series. You can customize these to align with your brand as needed. See one of my later videos on how to do this. Select the first row and make it a solid color. I always choose accent 1. Next, format the text with a country color. I'm going to go for white this time and make it bold and size 13. Next, add the name of the sheet in cell B1. This is the header of your sheet. Notice that I'm using square brackets to indicate that it's dummy text. This is really common throughout professional services, so you'll see this come up a lot. Next, add a note cell under the header and format it with italics and dark grey text. Use this to add notes which apply to the whole sheet to help inform the reader. Now we need to segment the sheet into working areas. Select row 4 and then choose a light colour from the Cell Styles dropdown. I'm going to use accent 3 20%. Finally, add your subheading text and add another note cell underneath it. It's really important you use column B for your subheading text and column C for your notes text. I'll explain why later. You should use these subheaders to segment your analysis. I'm going to add another couple underneath so we have a few working areas on this sheet. You can have as many as you need to complete your analysis. The reason that we put the subheadings in column B is that it allows us to use Control plus our up and down arrows to navigate between the subsections, like this. Next, update your sheet name at the bottom. Keep these short and factual. Now we need to remove the grid lines. Grid lines make Excels look budget and are not needed once you get used to working in Excel. Never ever use them if you want your Excels to look professional. Finally, hide any unused cells and move your cell highlighter box to cell A1. Normally I do this right at the end after I've completed all my analysis and just before hitting send to the client. We put the highlighter in cell A1 so that the client always opens the sheet at the top left of the analysis. That's it! You're ready to start doing your Excel analysis. Here are some I did recently for which I started with exactly the same base. This video is focused on setting up a single sheet. In the next video, I'll show you how you can use multiple sheets and dividers to give your workbook some structure. I hope you found this video useful. Please hit subscribe and head over to my channel for more instructional videos on a range of professional services related topics.